Elisia hugged Franz's neck and kissed him. His eyes widened in surprise at her kiss. His golden eyes disappeared behind his eyelids, and a tear ran down his cheek. Franz hugged Elisia desperately, like someone drowning and clinging to a lifeline. His hands were desperate, as if they were his only lifeline. He yearned for her as if this were the last kiss of his life. His large hand squeezed Elisia's waist. Their bodies came closer. Elisia cupped Franz's strong chest and opened her mouth. Elisia focused on Franz, and Franz on Elisia, clinging to each other. The room heated up. When the kiss lasted too long, Elisia turned her head to take a breath. But his lips immediately followed hers. Elisia laughed lightly at his behavior, which said that he could not bear to be separated even for a moment. You know, Elisia kissed Franz gently again, and then kissed him lightly again. I changed my mind. She grabbed his broad shoulders and looked at him. How? Aleisha was reflected in his glowing golden eyes. She looked directly at him and opened her mouth. I will not take revenge on you. And, Elisia stopped and smiled gently. Franz waited for her next words with anxious eyes. And what? And I will forgive you. At Aleisha's conclusion, Franz wore an expression as if he was going to collapse. He swallowed and closed his eyes tightly. He was a prisoner awaiting sentencing and was pardoned. Liz, Franz shuddered with emotion. His throat moved up and down. He extended his hand to Aleisha. He wrapped his hand around her like a vine. She surrendered to his embrace. Franz buried his head in Elisia's neck. His hands hugging her and his broad chest were trembling lightly. Elisia waited until Franz calmed down and continued speaking. I think I'll only be happy if I forgive you. If I don't forgive you, I won't be able to forgive MYF. Franz swallowed Aleisha's last words with a kiss. He attacked her warmly. Franz's emotion overflowed and flowed towards Aleisha. She accepted his affection graciously and hugged him. The thirsty kisses continued. She finally felt like she had found the right answer. Now that I knew all the truth, there was no need to think long. The answer was clear. I will love it. Without blame or hatred. Elisia decided not to ignore Franz's love, nor her own feelings. Franz loved her enough to sacrifice his life. Now that she knew the depth of his love, she couldn't leave him. Because she too loved him very much. I love you, Liz. I love you, too. Eager confessions reached each other. Franz put his forehead to hers and said, I will never make you sad again. I will never act cowardly and leave you. Franz's voice trembled with emotion. I will make you happy. Forever. Aleisha smiled at his oath. Her heart was full. Even though he hadn't done anything yet, she already felt happy, and her heart was tickling. As if the pain never existed, she was just happy. Don't break that promise. Aleisha nodded and kissed his forehead. Franz wore a stunned expression for a moment at her kiss, then smiled innocently. It was the first pure smile she had seen. A maid carrying a jewelry box walked with quick steps into the hallway. She wanted to run, but she restrained her because she was in the imperial palace. The corridor of the crown prince's palace, unlike the second prince's palace, was wide and long. The maid muttered a complaint about the difficulty of adjusting, and her steps widened. When she finally reached the door, she forced it open. Even though she entered, no one in the room paid attention to her. They were busy with their tasks. The maid passed through the people arranging dresses, getting measuring tapes, taking out gloves, and crossed the room. The spacious room was filled with luxurious dresses. Not only that, but there were boxes containing shoes, gloves, and headwear stacked as high as a person. In the middle of the piles of boxes, a woman stood. The woman, standing in front of the mirror and talking to the salon employee, was as beautiful as an angel in a cathedral fresco. The maid approached her with quick steps. Your Highness. What's going on, Sarah? Elisia asked Sarah as she was about to look at Madame Lucette. Sarah wore an embarrassed expression at her kind question. I didn't know what jewelry you were looking for. So I brought everything. Sarah opened the jewelry box for Elisia. The box, about as wide as her shoulders, was filled with all kinds of trinkets. It doesn't matter what you bring, a necklace and earring set is enough. While Aleisha was examining the jewelry box, Lucette, who was pinning brooches to the dress, let out a sigh of admiration. Oh my God! I have never seen jewelry this large and luxurious before. Lucette looked at the jewelry box with a fascinated expression and said, Rubies, diamonds, sapphires, whatever you choose, you will be gorgeous. So, can you pick out something for me, Lucette? I don't know much about jewelry. Oh, I don't know much about jewelry either. I just know that it's beautiful to see. Lady Belisa might know better. Belisa, come a minute. At Elisia's call, Belisa, who had been buried in a mountain of shoes, suddenly stood up. She brushed off her skirt and approached Elisia. Ah, this is a really difficult problem. Belisa looked at the jewelry box and spoke in a serious tone. She started stroking her chin while thinking. The Crown Prince investiture ceremony is also the occasion on which you will become the Crown Princess, right? So it should be more elegant than a princess but less luxurious than an empress. Something too big wouldn't suit us, would it? It might look unstylish. But something too small will seem empty. Lucette and Belisa continued their discussion in earnest. Elisia listened to their opinions and then looked in the mirror. In the mirror, there was a woman wearing a white dress embroidered with gold threads. She was perfectly groomed, and now all that was left was to wear jewelry that matched her. I don't really care. Elisia murmured, stroking her hair in a large braid. Speaking to her, Lucette and Belisa frowned at the same time. This won't fit. How can you say such things? The two women expressed their dissatisfaction. After the inauguration ceremony ends, the Crown Prince and Princess draw a memorial portrait of Femmes as they are. In other words, whatever they wear to the ceremony will be recorded for posterity. And to say that anything fits? Belisa grabbed a diamond necklace sticking out of the box. Then she placed it violently around the Crown Princess's slender neck. Wear this. The diamonds in this necklace are the biggest here. What? But, or how about this one? It looks like his beads are bigger. Wait, Belisa. Okay, stop. What about this sapphire? Its sparkle is the best. Everyone calm down, how about this? A man's low, sweet voice cut off Alicia's words, spreading throughout the room. Everyone's eyes turned to the door. I brought a suitable gift. His Highness the Crown Prince. The eyes of those who saw the man widened. We salute His Highness the Crown Prince. May the glory of the sun rest on His Highness the Crown Prince. People showed their respect for the man. He walked with long strides among people with his long legs. There was a slight tension in his straight-faced face. The cheeks of the clothing salon employees, who were peeking at the Crown Prince, turned red. The second prince was previously famous for his beauty in the empire. But few believed the rumors entirely. Rumors are often exaggerated. But female employees who saw him directly agreed with the rumors. They even realized that the rumors were very modest. Rumors could not surround half the beauty of the Crown Prince. Liz. Even his voice was perfect. Can someone be so perfect? Another employee elbowed the groaning employee's side. The Crown Prince is cruel and cold. The Crown Prince is a man as cold as Mana. Even now, isn't his face frighteningly stiff? It seemed like he wouldn't blink even if he was stabbed with a needle. Franz, but as soon as Aleisha called his name, the Crown Prince's face blossomed. His tightly closed lips drew a soft arc, and his sharp eyes folded in half. The female employees showed a stunned expression at the Crown Prince's sudden transformation as if he were another person.